from Augusta. You're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Tonight, a local daycare facing allegations and complaints after a mom says her son was hurt in their care. And a push for change inside all Georgia schools after the death of a middle school basketball player. We'll have more about that.
I'm hoping the bill will save people's lives in the future.
But first, we have showers, maybe some storms moving minutes. Thanks, Riley. Georgia is one of 20 states that require AEDs in schools, but only high schools. Now a mother is advocating for change after her 13-year-old son collapsed during a middle school basketball game. We first told you about Monty Rouse's story shortly after his death back in December. Monty's name now catching the attention of lawmakers at the state capitol. Sydney Hood live with us in the studio with a look at how his story could save lives.
Monty Rouse never lived to play more than one basketball game at Columbia Middle. This 13-year-old went into cardiac arrest and died 2 weeks before Christmas. Monty's mom says he was a healthy child. He passed his sports physical, and this came with no warning signs.
Like most teenage boys, Monty Rouse loved his mom, his sisters, and sports.
He was kind. He kept me on my feet. It was always something every single day with him.
At just 13 years old, Monty went into cardiac arrest.
It was his first year playing on the basketball team, first game.
The American Heart Association says more than 356,000 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests happen each year.
I didn't expect anything like this to happen, so I wouldn't have never let him play.
90% do not survive sudden cardiac arrest, according to the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation. But when an AED is used along with CPR, the survival rate rises to about 50%.
If you have the right people in place and the right processes in place, then you can potentially save a child's life.
We checked every school in Columbia and Richmond counties, and all have at least one AED on campus.
I'm hoping the bill will save people's lives in the future.
House Bill 874 not only requires an AED in all schools, but says schools need to have an emergency action plan and practice drills.
I just assumed that they already knew what to do if a child would go into cardiac arrest.
With her only son's picture in her hand, Stephanie Rouse stands with the governor, turning her pain into action.
I know. He'll be proud. I hate that it had to happen, that he had to lose his life before the bill was passed.
The bill also says no later than July 1st, 2025, each school should have at least one AED on site and easily accessible. As for Monty's mom, she says she's going to keep on advocating for this life-saving device and continue spreading awareness.
And hopefully that equipment is on the way soon. Sydney, thanks for the update there in our studio. New tonight, another daycare in the area being investigated by the state after a mom claims her child was hurt in their care. She says he had 3 knots on his head and a black eye, and she says the center could not explain how they got there. Hallie Turner has the story.
She doesn't want you to see her face. Instead, she wants you to hear her son's story.
It's hard. I'm a single mom and I work full time. It is. It's hard at work, to go through the day, but it's especially hard when your children are in the care of a stranger that you have to trust.
According to a police report, this mom reported to the Richmond County Sheriff's Office about, quote, several injuries to her son after she picked him up from daycare.
As I started to, brush my hand across his head, I felt lumps. There was 3 lumps, 2 on his forehead and then a big lump on the back of his neck. I was furious.
She said she took those concerns right back to the center.
And I said, hey, did he fall or something happen? But she said, no, ma'am, nothing, absolutely nothing happened. It infuriated me because I'm sitting here looking at my son who has 3 contusions on his head, severe swelling on his forehead, and the daycare is telling me that nothing happened.
She filed a complaint with the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. We found previous documents that show an employee grabbed a child by the neck and dug their nails into a 2-year-old's skin. Then the worker was arrested for simple battery.
Yes, I want justice for my son, and I also want parents to know that there is a resource where you can check any complaint that DeKalb has made on the child care site. I didn't know that was available. If I would have known that and had that resource, I would have never sent my children to this daycare.
In Augusta, Hallie Turner, on your side.
We did reach out to that daycare but did not hear back yet. DeKalb is still investigating, but parents, when you do your homework on daycares, DeKalb wants to make sure you do check their site so you can read through those documents. We're going to have a direct link to that on our website, wrdw.com. A man facing murder charges and more after a deadly Veterans Center shooting in Millen. The GBI telling News 12 it happened early Sunday morning at the Annie P. Chase facility. New developments tonight. Investigators say 28-year-old Raheem Whitfield turned himself in this afternoon. The victims have been identified in this case as 28-year-old Terrell Brown and 48-year-old Maxine Jones. Right now, the motive is not clear, but we will keep you updated as the story develops. We're approaching the one-year anniversary of Augusta's cyber attack that brought down city systems from government emails to utility bills all across Richmond County. Today, commissioners approving the IT department's annual breakdown from committee meetings, sending that over to the full commission. Craig Allison looks at what's new in that information. Craig.
Well, while the IT department says they're proud of the work they've done to move past last May's cyber attack, they don't want to go too much in depth about it so as to prevent someone else from trying to undo their progress. But from comparing previous year's reports, we can see some new patterns. Chief Information Officer Tamika Allen, says 2023's report blends already planned maintenance with their efforts to solve the cyber attack. From this compared to 2022, a few things stick out. Last year, they completed a $1.55 million upgrade of their digital environment and backup systems, a citywide password reset system, and updated 2 new firewalls for extra security. We caught up with Tamika Allen on getting to this point.
You can never say anything has ever been totally resolved when it becomes a cyber issue. But I would like to say that we are fully functional. We were fully functional days after for certain areas, but before precaution, we did not let our systems come back up. So we had things in place, but of course we wanted to make sure that the data was very secure.
All new tonight on News 12 at 11, we'll compare how Augusta responded to other recent cyber attacks in Fulton County and elsewhere.
And Craig, just in case people don't remember, the city of Augusta never had to pay any ransom money in that case, right?
No, Richard, from what we know, it was just a matter of getting things back into order so that people could pay their utility bills in a proper way and just get the systems back up and running.
Yeah, locking down that information. Craig, thanks for the update there from our newsroom. New tonight, the Bell Auditorium just 3 months away from a grand reopening. It's going to happen soon. The goal is to have it ready by May 31st. Also in today's Coliseum Authority meeting, talks about emergency payments for repairs over at the James Brown Arena. We're working to find out exactly what those repairs are. The groundbreaking for the new JBA will happen in early June. Demolition is set for July 1st.
Well, we do have a good bit of rain in store for the rest of this evening into tonight, but it may not necessarily be a washout tomorrow. We'll have that full forecast next.
All right, Riley, thanks. Let's get back to the ballpark. Another live look at SRP Park. College Showcase getting underway, as Riley just mentioned. The battle for the paddle. It's USC Aiken taking on Augusta University. Alyssa Lyons joins us live from the park. And Alyssa, this is a pretty nice stage for these two local teams.
Hey Richard, yeah, I just saw the AU women's cheerleading team. They were dancing the rain away, and it must have worked because AU and USC Aiken have just taken the field for some stretches, hopefully get some batting practices. They did go ahead and up that first pitch time to 10 minutes earlier than that 6:35 time, so it will start at 6:25. Hey, we're pretty lucky here and hoping to stay a little bit luckier with the weather. There's not many people that can say that they have a minor league baseball park right in their backyard, much less play in one. But here at SRP, they are trying to change that.
For many, it's about what playing here could be.
It's a taste of where they have a chance to go when they get done playing, especially in those SEC games.
Others, well, it's a chance to show off.
And when you get to play in a stadium like this, it means a little bit more, and the families, so many of these guys are recruited locally, get to see them at a big ballpark, get to be at the top tier facilities.
The showcases gave us first two. It was the first time the Panthers made the trip to SRP. First time in 5 years the Gamecocks visited.
It was a big piece to get them back out here, and we were trying to get it for the last couple of years. So to see the Gamecocks come to town, and their fan base travels really well. They brought the fans out here. They brought the energy. They made the park look like it's supposed to look. It would look like a legitimate game day, which is why we bring these people out here.
Even for the guys in a different uniform.
It really gets you going. It's a dress rehearsal for some of our new employees. It gets us a chance to test out the new concession stand items and the new things that we're doing on the video board.
Opening day is closer than you think.
It just fuels the fire. It gets you excited. The ballpark gets buzzing. We just want it to be opening day. We know it's close.
They've had 7 high school games. This is their 4th college showcase showcase game, including that HBCU Classic game. It's the most that they've ever had. We'll have the Battle for the Paddle highlights coming up at 11.
It's been a busy park, and the season hasn't even started yet. That is a great way to kick it off. Alyssa Lyons, thanks so much for the live update there. The North Augusta softball team coming off a big walk-off win as part of a doubleheader. They stay unbeaten in region play. We're going to hear from the Lady Jackets, who are on a roll. Next in sports.
Blue Books KBB.com Best Value Brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today. On your sideline.
The importance of developing a winning culture is something you hear often in sports, but rarely see in action. The North Augusta softball team is only 2 years removed from winning a state championship, and despite all the turnover last year, the Lady Jackets made it all the way to the state semifinals, including their 3 seniors. 6 starters remain the same this season, and that experience is showing in region play. On Monday, North Augusta swept their doubleheader against Airport with a dramatic walk-off win in Game 1. The combination of a clutch strikeout and with 2 runners in scoring position in the top of the 7th and a game-winning hit to right proved this team could be dangerous when playoff time comes.
It means that we're able to compete with any team that we're against. And I really believe that if we always give our all, we can always hang in with any game.
When a region game is on the line like that, you see who's going to do well under pressure. And I think that showed very well for our girls last night. You know, they stayed calm, they had their composure throughout the whole game, and just knew that they had to get it done some way or somehow.
The Lady Jackets have won all 5 of their region games to this point, and they'll look to remain unbeaten in region play when they face Airport again tomorrow night on the road.
Best of luck to them, Dan. Thank you. All new at 6 o'clock. 5 University of Georgia students getting a standing ovation today at the state capitol. They're the ones who helped the family survive a car crash in Burke County earlier this month.
Let's give another round of applause.
Jane McCardle, Molly McCullum, Eleanor Clark Jones, and Caitlin Lenance, all driving to Savannah for St. Pat's Day. When they saw that SUV roll into a creek in Burke County, they turned around. They quickly jumped into action, pulling that mother and her 8-year-old and 4-year-old children out of that submerged car. They even did CPR on one of those children. Lawmakers also presented a resolution in their honor.
These 5 women are heroes. I've certainly never been prouder of the University of Georgia. Never been prouder to represent Athens, and I just want to say thank y'all.
No doubt. After the rescue, the driver, Corey Kraft, told us that she's working on meeting these girls to thank them in person. She's the mom, and you can rewatch those stories if you want to on Wrdw.com. It is quite a story for those young ladies. WellStar and the Medical College of Georgia working to improve telehealth for you at home. And today we got a glance at the remote care programs through the eyes of patients, one who recently got out of surgery or those still recovering from impacts of COVID. Ultimately, the end goal is to help you save money.
What we've been able to do from an outcome perspective, be able to keep patients out of the hospital, potentially reduce their length of stay, has really become an opportunity for financial incentive for the health system, right? So if I'm able to take a patient who might have been a frequent readmitter 2 or 3 times in the hospital, keep them out, then the cost of care goes down, and that's a win-win not only for the patient but also for the health system as well.
Virtual care at home, which encompasses 4 programs, is still in the works right now, but we'll let you know when it's up and running. Well, like a phoenix from the ashes, an Augusta business reopening their doors. Munchie's Lab is now Munchie's Snacks. Back in September, they closed their Walton Way location, but the owners say there could be something in the works in the future for Munchie's Lab.
It's a dream that's put on hold. We are still looking for a different location that we can open back up and redo it all over again.
And while it's not the same as the original, the owners say it's still Hispanic fusion eatery that combines Asian and American flavors. And you can find them over on Washington Road in the same plaza as Tequila El Rey. Riley?
Well, if you are heading out for a bite to eat this evening, make sure you have the umbrella with you. We'll have another look at radar in that 7-day forecast just after a short break.
The First Alert Team, the best in Georgia.
Cars are coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News. We're here in Baltimore on the Papsco River in front of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and you can see it's just gone, totally collapsed. There is an active search and rescue operation ongoing right now because there are a number of people still missing. We'll have the very latest coming up on the CBS Evening News.
Well, here's a look from our Thurman Dam cam where you can see pretty wet conditions over Clarks Hill Lake. We are going to continue these rain chances for the next several hours and even most of the overnight. Here's a closer look at the Augusta Metro where we're currently seeing rain over Evans, Grovetown, North Augusta around SRP Park. We've seen a couple of showers pass on through it. More rain is going to be in store for us, so definitely looking wet for any plans you have heading into tonight. This front will be getting closer towards us tomorrow and basically splitting the CSRA in half. So as this approaches, this is going to keep our rain chances pretty high, even past midnight tonight. Potentially seeing some heavy rain and some thunderstorm activity at times. As this is a look ahead to right around daybreak. Still some pretty good coverage of rainfall, but as we get later into the day, you can see it does dry out for many spots. We'll continue that opportunity for rain. Basically, if we were going to draw a line from Saluda down to Swainsboro, anywhere east of that, rain chances look pretty good tomorrow afternoon, but anywhere west of that, you're actually expecting sunshine and a pretty pleasant into your Wednesday. But you can see that front does take all the rain east of us as we get into our Thursday, and Thursday afternoon not looking bad, just a little bit cooler than average. Cloudy skies and temps most likely staying in the 60s for highs, so a little bit cooler than average. We do warm up though Friday heading into our Easter weekend, highs close to 80 by Sunday.
We are live again at the top of the hour over on 26 News. If we don't see you there, we'll check in again here at 11 o'clock. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.